Welcome, Dr. Judy. Welcome back.
Thank you very much. Happy to be here.
So happy to have you. All right, we're going to jump right in. Okay, so Ray, who is a listener, he wrote, "What can we do to help our senior dog Douglas, who has fatty cysts that cause pain when he walks?"
So the first thing that I'm thinking the fatty cysts are probably lipomas, so that's a benign tumor under the skin, and if we were to open up the skin and peek underneath, it looks like a big glob of fat. 95 to 99% of the time, it's benign. It's not causing any problem at all. They don't spread, although dogs who are prone to making them are prone to making a lot of them. They are actually areas of walled-off toxins in the body. They are much more common in larger dogs. They're much more common in dogs that have eaten dry kibble most of their life. They're much more common in dogs that are taking a lot of medication, have had a lot of vaccinations. Basically, their body's trying to detox a lot of stuff and wall off things. So the tumors themselves, the fatty deposits, are not painful. But if they happen to form like in an armpit or in the groin area right in front of the hind leg, then they basically interfere with mobility if they get big enough. If they're small, they're really not causing a problem. So my question, and this is where, being on a podcast is a little more difficult than actually being able to visualize the animal. Are those fatty lumps big enough to be causing mobility issues, or is the dog having pain when walking from arthritis, from a spinal pain, from something else? If those lumps are causing mobility issues where they have to swing a leg outward, well, then they're not using that leg correctly. And so it does change the dynamics of how the mobility is occurring. So it would be worth considering removing a lump if it is big enough and in a place where it's causing a problem. If the lumps are small, most likely they are not what's causing the mobility pain. And in that case, I would want to get some x-rays, see, do we have arthritis? Do we have something else going on that's causing this? Certainly in our senior dogs, almost all of them are going to have some arthritis. And there are so many things we can do naturally for arthritis. We can use joint supplements that contain hyaluronic acid, glucosamine, chondroitin, MSM. We can use deer antler velvet. We can use CBD. We can use homeopathic products like arnica, cold laser therapy, acupuncture, chiropractic. I mean, there's just a broad range. If we're looking to get these fatty lumps to go away, I have to talk Chinese medicine a little bit here because they are considered a form of phlegm. Phlegm is also snot or mucus. And so we can actually feed foods that will help drain phlegm. So that would include things like clams. So you can get canned clams, rinse the salt off, and add spoonfuls of clams to your dog's diet. Parsley works, dandelion, peppermint. So peppermint tea or fresh peppermint, ginger will help. And then if this dog is a dry kibble eater, I would definitely recommend getting on whole grade human foods instead of dry kibble, because dry kibble tends to, just because of the mechanics of how it's digested in the body and how it's processed when it's made, makes a huge difference and contributes to these fatty lumps. So when I used to feed my dog, I had Dobermans before I had small dogs. Now I have small dogs. My last Doberman was the last dog, 2 Dobermans ago, was the last dog that ever got dry kibble in my household before I knew better. And at the time of his senior years, he was about 10, my kids and I sat and counted all the lumps on the dog. And he had over 80 fatty lumps over his body.
Oh my
Now,
gosh.
that was the last dog I fed dry kibble. After that, all of my dogs have been fed human-grade food, whether it's raw, gently cooked, freeze-dried, because I've totally changed how I do things. Now that I know better, I do better. And I've never had a dog with a lipoma since then.
That's incredible. That is so good.
Even if you change the diet late in life, a lot of times you'll see them start to dissolve. We actually do have Chinese herbals that we use. There's one called Phlegm Fat Formula that works really well. So if you have
Great.
a TCVM, traditional Chinese veterinary medicine veterinarian around, you could consider going and speaking with them and maybe getting some herbs prescribed that could help dissolve them as well.
Oh, that's great. Well, it's interesting because for the arthritis, if that's what's going on with Douglas, I've taken Benji now. He's had 3 aquatic therapy appointments.
Awesome.
They do laser, the cold laser. They do the swimming, much to his chagrin. Yesterday, we could barely get him in the pool. Here's a lab who doesn't like water, but anyway, but once he's in, he does really well. And then we do stretches and massage at home that they showed us. It's been great. I mean, he still limps, but he's just moving a little bit better. And then on the food side, I took Blue, who's on that horrible prescription diet, to a alternative vet, and it's very slow, and he has lots of allergies, but we're moving towards something great. And this actually goes into the question